Alleged child sex offender Charles Batham has been extradited to Australia after 9 years on the run in Asia and Europe. Escorted by West Australian police, he arrived last night on one of the few international flights still operating. The 76-year-old was arrested in Italy in March after an ABC investigation triggered a string of sightings and tip-offs.
It was the moment his alleged victims had begun to think would never happen. Charles Gordon Batham, surrounded by officers, escorted onto a plane back to Australia, almost a decade after fleeing the country. Charles Batham was a well-known figure in the Batham tourism industry when he was charged with 32 child sex offences in 2010 and 2011. The tall, outspoken Englishman ran a business taking tourists on ultralight aeroplane flights over Cable Beach.
Believe it or not, I've been here now 11 years, more by accident than anything else.
But within weeks of being charged, Mr Batham failed to appear in the Batham Magistrates Court, and it was discovered he'd skipped the country. Police at the time said he'd flown to Perth and then on to Malaysia. He was on the run for almost a decade until an ABC investigation earlier this year triggered a string of tip-offs from across Europe, including these photographs taken in Turkey. Mr Batham was arrested soon after in a small seaside town in Italy. And this week, in the midst of a second wave of COVID-19 lockdowns, WA police detectives flew to Milan and brought him back to Perth. One of Mr Batham's alleged victims is relieved he'll again face the Australian justice system.
It's been a lot. It's been a roller coaster of a lot of very intense feelings. I have a lot of peace of mind knowing that he isn't free.
Former police officer and child protection advocate Glenn Hulley says there are still many unanswered questions about how Mr Batham evaded capture for so long despite being on an Interpol wanted list.
Yeah, look, there's a number of issues that come out of this case. For him to be able to have got a new passport under a different name, there's issues there, and my organisation is following that up through an organisation in the UK.
Charles Batham has gone into 2 weeks isolation in Hakea Prison. He appeared briefly before the Perth Magistrates Court today via audio link and has been remanded in custody until his next appearance in December. Erin Park, ABC News, Batham.